I'm Pia Sinneroy with Entertainment Weekly at Comic-Con 2018. We are live on Facebook with
I just realized I was rocking back
Glass,
and forth and I didn't know why.
the Glass movie. Look at everybody here. This is kind of amazing. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Make sure, because we are live on Facebook, please send us your questions for this incredible cast. But I have the first question, because that's the benefit of being moderator. Knight, this one's for you. So you originally considered this as a trilogy way back when, but it's been a while since you came up with that. So what finally led you to bringing it to fruition?
It's a interesting question, because I really did think of doing it 3 movies, but when we made Unbreakable back in 2000, it was a weird reception to it, and I guess just being honest, I was a little bit.
Like it was my fault.
No, I'm not saying weird like pointing at you.
Oh,
weird pointing at me.
Sure.
Weird
It was a
pointing at
weird
me.
experience. Yeah.
People had some issues
With that.
No, so I felt, I thought that I didn't really connect with the audience.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like that, making this grounded superhero movie at that time, which was, way before all of this stuff that's going on now. And then I started making smaller movies and decided to make Split, and so that ended up being like the entree to come back into the trilogy. And I was so excited to bring these guys back and make the last one.
And a new person too.
And a new person, of course. We are sadly missing James McAvoy today, but I did want to. 3 of you here are reprising characters, so I wanted to ask you about. And then we have one person who is a new character. So let's start with the 3 reprising.
She's the best you can get for the money. Seriously.
I
Amazing.
believe that.
She's awesome.
So tell me a little bit about just being able to explore your respective characters a little further. We're going to start with you, Mr. Willis.
That's probably a good idea. I am so full of cursing. No. But go ahead. I'm sorry. What's your question?
What was it like to reprise the role of David, and what were you able to do with David this time around that you weren't able to do before?
Be
Well,
careful.
it was-
Don't say too much. Don't say too much.
Yes, I was about to hold back. But there is, I think there is some moments that came back, and David Dunn was a different guy from when, for what.
Yeah, I
How
mean,
would you-
we're
how
trying,
would
he's
you
trying to
do it?
avoid saying something that's
Yeah.
changed.
Like,
So he's working around it. He's being a very good actor right now, protecting the film. He's protecting
That
the
there
film.
might be a gap in there that still needs to be filled, and I think some of that's.
Yes.
I think,
Yeah.
you know,
Very
you're
eloquently
gonna-
put. Yeah.
you're gonna
Alright.
talk
There's a lot of secret area he's referencing that
see.
you get to learn
Okay.
about.
Mr. Jackson, you finally get your movie in this universe. You get the Glass movie. What can we see from Elijah in this? did that not?
I don't even, it's like
What have you
Okay,
done to these
we're
guys?
all
They don't
older.
wanna say anything.
we're all older. We've
Now you know
had
what I
time to assess what we do think, what we believe, and what we don't believe.
Okay.
So we're either firmer in that or less firm in it because it hadn't worked out. But
I like it.
I
like it.
we're there. It's great to be together again.
Well, that's the important. You were there. It was good to be there.
It's as random as
here, man. It's great.
I mean, it's all
like going
been
back to
very
school.
random. It's
Well,
like
that's
when-
nice. Going back to school, yeah.
I actually ran into Bruce
Yes.
in a casino
Yes.
in Marrakesh
Oh,
Goodness,
one night,
that
and
must
Bruce
have been a
says,
night.
this kid is writing a movie for us." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Oh, that movie you just did about the dead people. I read that. I wanted that job." And he calls Knight, and Knight goes, "Oh my God, I'm writing one of your scenes." I'm like, "Who are you?" So it's been that random, but that fortuitous for us all.
I love
And that we stumble into this place and something really magical and wonderful happens.
That's amazing. We have gotten a Facebook question from Chris Cooper. It's a Sarah Paulson question, people.
Yes.
What made you want to be a part of this project?
I mean,
Wonderful people.
We'll look around. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna cry. Well, I was a huge fan of Unbreakable. I was a huge fan of all of Knight's movies. I love all of them as well, and so I just felt lucky. I couldn't believe I was being asked.
And what drew you to Ellie Staple, the psychiatrist that you play?
She was complicated and not a sort of standard traditionally shown shrink. Right? Wouldn't you say she's not your average bear?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, one of the things I wanted to make sure is that Glass had its own feeling and flavor, so that the three movies could stand on their own, like Unbreakable stands on its own, and Split. And Sarah was critical to that, for us to have like a new feeling, a new face that was kind of the our into the story. So so the three movies could be on their own. Okay.
And Anya, so you're returning to this as Casey, and your character obviously went through a bit of an ordeal.
Yeah,
Split,
tiny. I
mean,
just
there was
a little
Nothing.
one.
I mean, it was a blip.
One of the most
It was a toast of blip in the radar.
ordeals you could ever have.
Totally subjective. I'm not sure.
So we don't know much about Casey's role in this, but what can you tell us about how she's healing and moving forward after the last movie?
I mean,
You could say a little bit. You could say a little bit.
Thank you. You see, permission.
I think gets
Get
a
out
lot
of
of latitude.
a lot of slack.
Totally cool,
No,
Casey.
I mean, honestly, like, it sounds really ridiculous, but I missed her so much, and going back and being able to fulfill a journey was huge for me. And the first time I put on the new costume, I was like, oh, okay, like we're doing this. And the new movie takes place very, not a lot of time after Split. Am I good?
That's correct.
Sweet. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Terrified.
You're good.
And so, but I think people will be really impressed with how Casey's coping with everything right now. I think she's a strong character, and she's dealt with everything, and she's handling it.
Yeah, you remind me of something, which is this is the first time I ever sat down to write, and I knew every character except for Sarah's.
Okay.
And that's weird, because usually writing is me figuring out who you guys are. I spend the months figuring it out, but I already knew how David Dunn and Mr. Glass and Casey spoke, and all the characters that James plays. Most of them. There's a lot of new characters he plays.
It felt like slipping into a skin rather than like going back into school and being like, okay, this is my first day. It was like, no, okay, I'm putting on this character again, and I'm doing this.
That's really cool. And I hope we continue to see this world expand.
I can't answer that question.
Well, we can
Can't
only
even-
hope.
Drama.
Whoa, that was cool.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. Glass is coming out January 2019, and this is so cool. I can't believe you're all here with us. I really
Thank you,
appreciate
Pia.
it. Thank you. Have
Thanks
a good
for having us.
Comic-Con.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
joining us.
All right.